Donald Trump had criticized Barack Obama for not using the words radical Islamic terrorism. He said it in, of course, tweet after tweet after tweet. Oh, why won't Obama say it? Yeah, he's so soft and weak. If he says it, then all the problems would go away. He's going to Saudi Arabia, so he has a chance to do it right this time. And Donald Trump could come in there and tell him, like he did during the campaign, hey, look, Islam's a problem, okay? Well, my country has a problem, it's Islam. And so we got to do a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the country. That's what he said during the campaign. He could tell them, hey, the Saudis, I told you, you're part of the problem here. You guys attacked us on 9/11 and we were way too soft on you. And then he could talk about radicalism. Did he do about any of those things? No, of course not, no. The most he did was, instead of saying Islamic extremism, not radical, not anything, he was supposed to say, he was supposed to say Islamist extremism, which is apparently much softer. I'll explain that to you in a second. He went off script and said Islamic extremism. Whoa, Islamic instead of Islamist extremism. So let's explain the difference. For clarification, Mediaite writes, Islamic terrorism presumes that extremism is a fundamental aspect of the Muslim faith. Islamist terrorism, on the other hand, refers to the extremist movement that tries to connect with and draw support from the rest of the Muslim world. If you're thinking there's a lot of BS wordplay, I think you're largely right. So I know, look, Obama had good reasons for not saying it. He's like, I don't want to give these guys legitimacy. That's like saying Dylann Roof was a white terrorist or a Christian terrorist. It somehow implies that other white people should be, are somehow responsible, or he stood for other white people or other Christians when he murdered all those people in the church in Charleston, South Carolina. I get that logic. Nonetheless, it is small wordplay. Did anybody in the Muslim world outside of a few diplomats notice the difference between Islamic and Islamist? Now, I actually have two different takeaways from this, but before that, I just want to give you the full context. Here's Donald Trump himself saying it, watch.
That means honestly confronting the crisis of Islamic extremism and the Islamists and Islamic terror of all kinds. We must stop what they're doing to inspire, because they do nothing to inspire but kill.
Okay, the first part is about how he was a big tough guy and the right wing loved it, about how he's going to go and punch the Saudis in the face. He did no such thing. That little tiny tweak was as much as he did and as far as he went. So he didn't talk about how you guys are going to pay us like he said on the campaign trail. He didn't talk about how he's going to hold them accountable for terrorism. He certainly didn't hold them accountable for human rights. Said, hey man, we're not here to insult you. You do whatever you want. In other words, you do you, boo. And he is in fact their boo. He then did of course, we told you about the $110 billion arms deal, which actually by the end could be $600 billion, giving them more weapons to bomb Yemen, let alone whatever else that they want to do. And remember, the Saudis are fundamentalists. Now, they're not Islamic terrorists, kind of, like even those, like I'm talking about the government. Obviously 15 out of the 19 hijackers were, and a lot of the people who attacked us in the Iraqi insurgency were funded by the Saudis. But the Saudi government, you could have a lot of different opinions about them, but in terms of the, calling them terrorists, I guess that's too far, but they are fundamentalists, right? They have the same ideology. We say, oh my God, we have to attack ISIS, they're beheading people. The Saudi government beheads people. Sometimes they behead people for protesting. So it's not like they're not the fundamentalists that deserve a lot of scorn for that, but big tough guy Donald Trump went over there and barely laid a glove on him. All he wanted to do was make financial deals and do what every other president did. So Trump is not the tough guy that you bargained for, even if you're a right winger. Now, the second part of this is he got the words wrong. So the reporters asked him about it. That was not in your prepared remarks. And here's what the administration said. Jeff Zeleny reports, asked about the line in the speech today when Trump said Islamic instead of Islamist, a senior White House official said, quote, he's an exhausted guy. He just got there. This is not the beginning of the end of the foreign trip. This is the beginning of the foreign trip. Remember, this is the trip that is 9 days long, and Trump complained like a little baby that he wanted it to be only 5 days long. And he's like, oh my, do I have to go abroad for 9 days, meet with the Saudis and the Israelis and Europe? Can't we make it shorter? So this crybaby, on the first day talks about how he's exhausted. Now let me remind you, you will recall that Trump often ripped Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election by suggesting that she did not have the stamina to withstand the duties of the presidency. What happened, Donnie boy? You said she wouldn't have the stamina, and here you are on the first day going, oh, I screwed up my words because I was exhausted. I went all the way from Washington to Saudi Arabia. In fact, if you forgot, let me remind you of all the times he talked about how other people were low energy and didn't have enough stamina. Watch.
You see, poor Jeb, he's doing another commercial on me, this guy. He's a maniac. This poor guy, I feel sorry, he's like a lost soul. But you know, this poor, pathetic, low-energy guy, he gets up and he does a commercial. She doesn't have the look, she doesn't have the stamina. I said she doesn't have the stamina. And I don't believe she does have the stamina. To be president of this country, you need tremendous stamina. With Saudi Arabia, I mean, can you imagine we're defending Saudi Arabia, and with all of the money they have, we're defending them and they're not paying? All you have to do is speak to them. Wait, you have so many different things you have to be able to do, and I don't believe that Hillary has the stamina.
Oh, that clip is just perfect. Can you imagine we're defending Saudi Arabia? Now he's all over Saudi Arabia bowing like, oh yeah, Saudis, oh, you're giving me gold. I love gold, precious. Oh yes, Saudis, here's more business deals for you guys. I don't want to offend you guys though. But you screwed up your words. Let's go back to graphic 15. He's an exhausted guy. You know what you need, Donnie, in order to be president of the United States? You need stamina. That's what you need, stamina. Is there anything he said on the campaign trail that he hasn't already done the exact opposite of? Whether you liked him or you disliked him, how could you not see the overwhelming hypocrisy? All right, Trump supporters, keep closing your eyes, man. Yeah, no, he didn't bow. No, just, I mean, to be fair, to be exhausted on the first day, that's good stamina, that's high energy. Really? What a baby. We're not the Young Turks, you're the Young Turks. You power this show. Together we built something amazing. We've broken stories like the Donna Brazil story the mainstream media wouldn't break. We built the studio, we built this network. It's now #1, all thanks to you guys. Let's come build it even bigger and stronger. tytnetwork.com/join.